Hello my friends, thanks for tuning in. It's a short haul flight around the world with my vintage flea market finds today. However, never forget, the eye of Bamboo Betty is always watching you. Right then, I'm going to start with a classic flea market fail. I still, after all these years, do it to myself, honestly, and I check religiously every time I see something fiddly and fine and glass that it isn't broken, that it's got all its teeth and it's got all its legs, but god damn it! Bought this incredible glass frog and I just got so excited by his yellow spots and his googly eyes, and then he had all his little front toes. I didn't bloody look at the back. Got a leg off. Oh, honestly, useless. But he will go with this one that I've had in the car for a year in the glove compartment. I paid £4 for this bird. I think he was going to change my life. And look, he's lost legs as well. Oh my God, honestly. Anyway, I do it. Everyone does it. We all do it. Crack on. Then I found this little fella. He was £1. And in a charity shop, hang on, and he is high bank porcelain. I'm not even going to try to say that, they'll come for me. But I mean, I'm not going to resell him. I just couldn't leave him all alone because look, he's so smiley. Hello. I'll see if I can give it to a friend who's got a black and white tabby. Also, these I always buy vintage thread on bobbins on reels when I find it. I'm not sure these will fit my machine, but some of the colours in here, like that one especially, the orange and the yellows, you just would, never find that lying around the house if you need to do a repair for a vintage piece of clothing or upholstery. So it's always a brilliant idea to grab it when you see it. This whole bag was just £1, so can't go wrong. Buy vintage thread when you see it. Come on, hop along, out of the way. You've had your moment. Okay, I'm not going to go through everything in here because mostly it's broken pieces and single earrings and bits of tat. However, there are a few small pieces that are absolutely amazing. So I'm going to start with this vintage 1970s necklace. Look at that colour. My bathroom when I was a child was this colour. Officially puce, but that's 70s aubergine if ever I saw it. I love it. I'm going to put it on the mannequin and show you in its full glory. There we go. All the beads move and the small gold beads move too, and that's perhaps not the most ideal placement, but you can't fiddle with them. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's the sort of necklace that when you're a child, if your mum was in the 70s and they were going out on a Saturday night, you'd play with the necklace. It would be a sort of one of those things that becomes a toy. Oh, it's so glamorous. The colour's amazing. I'm not sure if it's coming out on the camera, but I'd probably move those. Gorgeous. I would say this is classic 70s, and I found a classic 1960s stainless steel pendant with the purple stone in the middle, and this one is stamped. It says Lord Python, designed by D. Scott Walker. Beautiful. There she blows. Classic 1960s modernist design, very stylish. Went out of fashion for a while, will never go out of fashion again. Like George Michael. Next, 1950s pastel glass beads with a textured surface. Absolutely beautiful, very heavy. Brass fitting, I think. Yep. And classic early 50s colours. Beautiful quality. Pile it on, pile it high. Next. Finished with the necklaces, however, this is one of my favourite things. I love this 1970s brutalist gold tone design. Classic. And this one is stamped Austria. It's adjustable, and you can't get more brutalist than that. This texture's called bark. Moving on to a strange collection, an eclectic collection of brooches from this week. Start with this fella, huge statement, 1950s I'd say, to go on the lapel of a coat. Beautiful, sort of treacly cinnamony brown stones with a citrine diamante center. Gorgeous, massive. From the sublime to the ridiculous. A modern guinea pig pin brooch. It's actually signed on the back. It says pageant, and it's got a double pin backing for security so you don't lose him. I imagine it's completely modern. It's probably hot off the press. However, I absolutely adore guinea pigs. I watch them on YouTube for hours and I'd love a house full, but Begonia will have them. So no guinea pigs for me. Next, a vintage, I'd say 90s costume butterfly brooch. Funky colours. I thought it was quite unusual. Then Rennie McIntosh style red rose brooch. This again, I think it's modern. I think you can probably buy a new one on Amazon, but I'd seen her in the cabinet for so long I felt sorry for it, so I had to buy her. Next, oh god, this is me all over. It's a bit like a Nike tick, or is it Nike? Anyway, it's definitely giving its approval. Beautiful. This one is signed Capri, and I'd say 60s. Gold tone with turquoise blue beads and faux pearls. There's one missing, unfortunately, which I did see, but it will go into the pot to be repaired. Easy job. Great stuff. Next is this little, I think it's pewter, and it's either a duck or a seagull, but it's ever so cute. And the last brooch that I bought separately, individually in the flea market, was this one. Amazing. This is vintage Atwood and Sawyer. I think it is a phoenix, or possibly a peacock. It has some small stones missing, but I will repair that professionally with Swarovski crystals, and it will be restored to its former perfect glory. Beautiful. The last piece I bought individually was this Tulsi Mala, which I'm ashamed to say I didn't know anything about, unfortunately. It's the Holy Basil garland. I believe it is an Indian garland to bring protection and good luck, and to ward off evil spirits. But why I bought this one in particular is because it had its original tag, and it was bought from the Taj Mahal Palace. The Taj Mahal Palace in Mumbai, and that's the original tag. So that's very interesting. I'll do some more research on that and educate myself. Right, okay, so these two bags, I won't go through every single piece because most of it are really broken bits that I was going to use for repairs. So lots of old vintage pieces, no backs, but really useful crystals. So perfect. What I did find, which was incredible, was a completely intact, with all its teeth, vintage Aurora Borealis starburst necklace, which is dazzling, fantastic. I mean, my God, give it some show, girl. This would be amazing for a bride. It'd be amazing for me just to sit around watching the flowers grow. Very Barbara Cartland, spectacular. And that's all in one piece, so I'm thrilled about that. And from the same bag, I found this single earring, which is a leopard head who seems to have snatched a diamante necklace and he's holding it in his mouth. It's not, it's just two danglers. But it's a single earring and it would be perfect to repurpose this as a little pin brooch. You could put that on your collar or on your jumper and off you go. Brilliant. And the one piece from this bag that I want to share with you is this vintage little turn it round, pin badge, the old blacksmith shop, Gretna Green. So somebody obviously eloped, maybe in the 60s. Off they went. They ran away together to Gretna Green and got hitched and got a badge to prove it. I hope they were very happy together. Now, when I'm in the flea market, what I'm mostly looking for are things that will inspire either characters or events in my short stories. And I always go in never expecting to find anything because, you know, it's just that whole, well, it's nonsense really, but if you're not looking, that's when you find it. Found it. It's in there. Can you guess which one it is? I'm slightly interested, hovering around the outskirts of hatpin collecting. I get it. I completely get it. I totally understand why people would want to collect hatpins. I'm probably minutes away from a total obsession. If I ever move on from brooches, oh, that's Begonia. Come on, come on. Oh, she's bringing me a toy. Come on, darling. Oh, where's your toy? Hang on, I won't be long. Yeah, so if I ever get bored of brooches, which is never going to happen, it's hatpins. And oh my God. Look, if that gold vintage poodle hatpin that's about 8 inches long isn't a murder weapon in one of my short stories, nothing is. I mean, what? I can't tell you. I almost fell over in the stall when I saw it. My knees went under me, and the stall holder said, I was waiting for you. So I didn't think twice, didn't even breathe. Just said, yes, I'll take those, please, sold. There are lots of other ones, interesting ones, but seriously, come on. I'm writing a novel, chapter by chapter. I finished 2 chapters. But each chapter is in the form of a short story because if I think I have to write a novel, I literally will never do it. I've got the shortest attention span in the history of the universe. But I have a character in chapter 2 who is a very mysterious French beauty who has a black poodle and potentially with one eye, the dog, not the lady. And now I'm not going to give anything away, but if you read part 1 and part 2, you'll know that there's a gathering speed of death, murder, and subversive mayhem. And now we have the perfect weapon, death by poodle. So I'd love you to read those stories too. What I'm going to do is show you where to find them on my website, bamboobetty.com, and I would be honestly absolutely delighted if you read them. But what I'm also planning to do is to narrate them here on YouTube, and that might inspire me to write chapter 3, because if I can do anything else, if I can go out hunting for treasure instead of sitting down and writing, I will, and I do. So please have a read. This is where you find it. So please type in bamboobetty.com in the search engine, and then my website will come up, and click on that. And then please go to my blog. And you will see all my short stories and life stories come up. Scroll down please to the first short story, which is The Little Red Suitcase, a short story, and then tap on that, and I promise you it's the most amazing read. Then when you've read that one, go to part 2, My Little Runaway, short story part 2, and it's this red vintage vanity case picture. So here we are. There's another broken frog. My life is full of broken frogs. So you go to that and you click, and then the story begins. It's 1962 and the Beatles' footprints are still fresh on Penny Lane in Mossley Hill, an anonymous and pleasant leafy blue-skied suburb in South Liverpool, soon to be immortalised for all eternity by its most fabulous four. It's good, I promise you. And there's pictures, Waldy bag, for you vintage freaks like me. So yeah, thank you very much. There is a link at the end of the first story to take you to part 2. So I'd be so grateful if you give that a read. I hope you like it. I think it's pretty good myself. Thank you, that's everything. So I hope you have a fantastic week. This was this week's Friday Feel Good Nonsense. Thank you very much for joining me. It's always lovely to feel you with me, to feel your presence. I'm watching you. If you enjoyed this ridiculousness, please like and subscribe. That would be fantastic. And I am here every Friday with a new vlog about vintage, beautiful brooches, about cats, plants, alternative lifestyle, but not in the alternative as in yoga. That's not my bag. Alternative as in mostly subversive. And of course, begonia coconut. She features heavily in everything I do in life. Thank you very so much. Take care. Bye bye.